You just won the Candy Crush World Series. What are you going to do next?
I'm going to Blizzard World.
Hey everyone, welcome to GameGorgon. My name is Indigo.
And I'm Krug.
And today we're going to be talking about Overwatch. Bum, 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 bum. So we're talking about Overwatch today, and we're talking about all of the really fun things that they talked about at Blizzcon. One is the fact that there is now a new map called Blizzard World, which I got a short amount of time playing. I got 2 matches in it. It's really fun. I got distracted quite a bit walking around trying to discover things.
That's going to be the main thing, right? They were talking about how this new map's going to have all these Easter eggs. I feel like the first 4 weeks of matches are just going to be people looking for Easter eggs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I got some signatures from that team, and they're like, oh, yeah, each character you play will have different Easter eggs in different areas and different voice lines.
That's going to be so distracting.
Yeah, it's going to be super distracting. Well, and, okay, so it's this fictitious, Disneyland-esque world. In fact, the map is designed very much like Disney, and it's really, really fun. They actually don't have an Overwatch section in there. They're saying that this is Blizzard is in this world, in the world of Overwatch, but they never made or contracted anything involving.
The Overwatch game doesn't exist. They're just like super trying really hard to justify the existence of this thing without making it super awkward.
Yeah,
which I think they actually did a really good job.
Oh no, it's really great, and it's really, really pretty. It's got 2 sections, so it's an assault, and then the second half of it is actually a payload.
It's called a hybrid map.
Yeah, it's a hybrid map. Kaplan made a hilarious joke during the opening ceremonies about it.
The map is awesome. We had a ton of fun making it. It's a hybrid map, so that means it's part assault and part payload. Now, I know most of you don't know what payload is, so everybody turn to the Zenyatta main to your left, and he'll figure it out. You don't have to worry about it. Don't worry about what payload means.
So when I did get a chance to go in there and play it, the one thing that, the only negative, I got one negative, which is in the section that is the StarCraft world themed area, there's a probe that flies around. Every single time I saw it, I mean every time, I thought that it was either a hero or it was an attack of some sort, and I would, oh god, what is, oh, okay, it's just a probe.
Your results may vary because you might actually be good at video games.
It was pretty damn funny.
That's pretty funny.
The other really cool thing that they announced is a brand new healer who both heals and does a massive amount of damage. In fact, Kaplan made a joke about her spelling of her name, which is OPAF.
Mm-hmm. Her actual name is Moira, so that's obviously a joke. She's very, very strong.
Yeah, she's very, very strong. So she has this really interesting ability where she can heal with her left click, but then does kind of Symmetra-esque damage with her right click, where she actually has to be close enough to connect, and it stays with that person no matter where they walk around, as long as they're within range.
Her healing also has a really interesting kind of resource associated with it. So while she can put out a lot of healing, it will get to a point where she doesn't have any more healing to put out. And so she'll need to recover that either by waiting for a very long time for it to recover naturally, or by doing damage to enemies, which will make it recover much, much faster.
Mm-hmm. The other ability she has is she actually, when you hit the E button, she puts both of her hands up, one side being the healing side and one side being the damage side, and then you choose which one you want to use by either clicking your left or your right. So I think this is the first character that does that has like an option once you've hit the ability.
Yeah, I mean, Reaper kind of has that, but it's just like, okay, where do you want to go? So these 2 orbs, once you shoot them out, bounce off of surfaces and contain a set amount of either damage or healing. And once you send them out, they're bouncing off of surfaces, and once a targetable player comes near them, so an ally for the healing ball or an enemy for the damage ball, they will output their healing or their damage. And so once that healing or damage runs out, it'll disappear and you'll have to cast it again. These 2 abilities share one cooldown. So when you make a choice about which one you're going to use, you're making a legitimate choice that will affect how you're playing the next X amount of seconds, because you won't have access to either of them for that amount of time. So whether you decide to heal, whether you decide to hurt, you kind of have to go in with that choice because you're not going to get to make another one for a hot minute.
Speaking of Reaper, which we were just talking about,
Right.
she also has a very similar kind of like dash forward. You can even call it Tracer-esque.
Sure.
Where you get to teleport forward.
Kind of a mix between the two characters, I'd
Yeah,
say.
it's kind of like a smoky, ghosty kind of feel like Reaper, where you teleport out in one place and then reappear in another, and you actually get a speed bonus after you get out of it.
That's what it looks like from the perspective of your enemies. From your perspective, you just gain a speed boost.
Oh, super fast speed.
Like a very substantial speed boost, but you're not actually teleporting. So you can go in one direction and then decide to change partway through, but you are invisible to your enemies. So it does, from their perspective, look like a teleport. You are untargetable during that time, and you're completely invisible, not just like silhouetted, like you're actually 100% gone. So it feels like a teleport. It looks super useful. It's not slow to activate like Reaper's little teleport, like, I'm Reaper. But
it's instantaneous Tracer.
It's instantaneous like Tracer, which is why we're saying it's kind of a combination between the two of them. I think that's going to be a super cool ability because adding that level of unexpected, like, oh, they're gone and I don't know where they're coming. Like Tracer, you can kind of see the trail of where the direction she dashed in. Reaper, obviously, you know where he's going because he's looking in that direction, and there's a big old cloud of smoke where he's going to be, and he's also standing there for about 4 hours before he actually moves. So it doesn't really matter. But with this ability, I feel like it's the first legitimate dash that is unpredictable in its outcome, which I think is going to add a whole layer of super great reason to play this character. That seems like a really strong thing for this character to have.
Now, while you do kind of get to choose your direction, because it is such a fast move, it's not like halfway through you can make a quick turn left.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like I'm moving and I'm going to teleport like Tracer, but just boom, like it's that quick. It's so fast. And lastly, but far from the least, her ultimate ability.
Oh my god.
So this ability, she kind of mixes her both healing and damage together, and she blasts out all of her power out of one hand, where if you...
For an hour. This is the longest ults, dude.
So you shoot it. It is a long time, I will give you that. You shoot out, and if your allies are there, it will heal them, and if there are enemies in the way, it will do damage.
And if there are both, it will do both.
Yeah, it's crazy. At least in the video, they showed a team going and being ulted by Pharah, and then being able to heal through it.
Yeah.
Which
is an insane amount of damage to be able to heal through. Now, I'm going to give you my impressions of the ult. I haven't played with it. He has, and then we'll talk to him and see what the reality is. So looking at it in the presentation, it feels like it does too much damage, it does too much healing, it lasts for too long, you can move too quickly while you're using it as far as turning your camera is concerned. And it just seems just broken on every possible level.
It's not. It's super not.
That's good.
So it is super, super, super good in very, very, very specific situations. So there are some long corridors or hallways where enemies may be, coming towards you while your teammates coming towards you. You can heal through the damage and then also hurt your enemy. But that's about it. It's a very good spell, and the reason why it lasts so long is because you're having to change your aim. It's not like once you hit your enemy, it does so much damage they die. It doesn't do that much damage. It's just her only really accurate long distance damage.
Sure.
And that's why I feel that it's that long.
And now that you're saying all that, I do remember during the presentation of her abilities that when they were using the ult, it was on stationary targets most of the time, and the one time they weren't stationary, they were running towards her. So it kind of calls out, it's probably going to be a little difficult to track with, kind of like Zarya's primary ability.
Yeah, she's really fun. I got to play her for a little while. I played with her on one map, which was the Blizzard World event, or the Blizzard World map. And she was fun. I really enjoyed it. Not going to be my main, just because I like a lot of the other healers that are already out there and that I think are really fun, but I think that this is adding a whole new level. So go down in the comments, guys, and let us know, do you think Moira's name is spelled O-P-A-F? While you're down there, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to like the video if you liked it. Let us know what your guys' opinions are. If you have a chance and you really like our content, hit the bell so that you can get notifications knowing when our content comes out. Also, please hit the share button. Let your friends know about us. Let your family know about us. Tell your grandma about us. She's gonna love us. I know it. Grandmas love me. I'm just saying. Until next time, guys, my name is Indigo, and you guys can get me on Twitter at IndigoQT.
I'm Krug. You can get me at KrugQT on Twitter. You can also get both of us at _QueueTimes. We've been GameGorgon. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.